Hi y'all, it's your favorite tea correspondent and I need you to lean in for this one. Because tonight we are going to do a deep dive into something that the culture has been quietly whispering about for the better part of 3 decades. And I do mean quietly, because nobody wants to say it out loud until it's already happening. We are going to talk about what I am officially naming, on this channel, on this night, in this moment, the Doorstep Doctrine. And I need you to listen, because the Doorstep Doctrine is not a rumor. The Doorstep Doctrine is not a vibe. The Doorstep Doctrine is a documented historical pattern that has played out, without exception, in every single high-profile separation in modern hip-hop and black entertainment culture where a man walked out of a woman's house and refused to come back for his belongings. And tonight, family, we are going to walk through the receipts. We are going to walk through the precedent. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why Papoose is sitting at the edge of a cliff that he doesn't even know is a cliff yet. Allegedly. Always allegedly. You know how we do it on this channel. Let me paint you a picture, and I want you to really sit with this image because the image matters. It's a Tuesday. It's early. The sun is barely awake. There is a brownstone somewhere in the Bronx with the curtains still drawn and the porch light still humming from the night before. A man pulls up in a car he probably shouldn't be driving and walks up to a door he no longer has keys to. He rings the bell. Nobody answers. He rings it again. Nobody answers. He rings it a third time, slower now, because he can feel the embarrassment crawling up the back of his neck like a fever. And then, just as he's about to turn around and walk back to his car with his pride in his pocket, his eyes drop. And there at the bottom of the steps, sitting in a neat little row like 3 quiet little headstones for a marriage that nobody had the courage to officially bury, are 3 contractor-grade black trash bags. Tied at the top, double knots, heavy, and resting on the top bag, held down by a piece of painter's tape so the wind don't take it away, is a single post-it note. And on that post-it, in handwriting he has been reading since 2008, are 2 words. Just 2. Best wishes. Now listen, I am not making this up. I am not being dramatic. I am not even being mean tonight. I am just being a historian, because somebody has to be. That image I just described to you is not hypothetical. That image is a prophecy. And every man who has ever left a black woman's house without coming back for his clothes has eventually, without exception, walked into that exact scene. And tonight, family, we're going to talk about how Papoose is currently driving, slowly, confidently, allegedly, directly into that Tuesday morning. From the outside looking in. You know I always say that. From the outside looking in. So let me actually define the Doorstep Doctrine for the babies in the back, because I have a lot of new viewers tonight and I don't want to lose anybody. The Doorstep Doctrine, as I am defining it on this channel, is the cultural phenomenon. And y'all, it is a phenomenon because it crosses class, it crosses region, it crosses tax bracket, it crosses decade, wherein a grown man exits a long-term relationship and refuses, for whatever reason, to formally retrieve his belongings from the family home. And listen, the reasons are always the same. Sometimes he thinks she's going to take him back. Sometimes he thinks taking his stuff means the relationship is officially over and he's not ready to look at that on paper. Sometimes he just thinks he can have his cake and eat it too and keep his cologne on her dresser like a little flag of occupation. Whatever the reason, the result is identical every single time. The woman waits. The woman waits exactly long enough. And then the woman packs. And here's the part where everybody gets it wrong. Everybody thinks the trash bags are anger. Everybody thinks the trash bags are pettiness. Family, listen to me. The trash bags are not anger. The trash bags are not pettiness. The trash bags are a ceremony. The trash bags are the most efficient closing argument in the legal history of the American household. The trash bag is the demotion. The post-it is the dismissal. The porch is the exile. And the silence afterward. Because there is always silence afterward. The woman never picks up the phone after the bags hit the porch. The silence is the verdict. It's poetry. It's surgery. It's a closing argument written in hefty plastic. And Papoose, baby, Papoose has 18 months of cologne still sitting on Remy Ma's dresser. Do the math. Now, before y'all jump in the comments saying I'm making this up, I want to walk you through the case files. Because I keep a little document, right? And in this little document I have logged 17, and I do mean 17, high-profile separations in hip-hop and adjacent black entertainment culture over the last 30 years that have followed this exact pattern. I am not going to give you full names because I am protective of the innocent and I am cautious about the litigious, but you know the couples. You know them. You watched it happen. So let's walk through 3 of the cleanest precedents, and then I want you to tell me with a straight face that Papoose is somehow exempt from the doctrine. Case file number 1. We are going to call this one the Brooklyn matter because we are based in New York and we honor our local history on this channel. Early 2010s. The husband was a rapper with a reputation for lyrical density and a back catalog that critics respected more than the streets did. The wife was a stylist who had quietly built the visual identity of his entire era. They had 2 kids. They had a brownstone. They had everything. And then he met a video model who was, allegedly, about 8 years younger, who had just signed an endorsement deal with a streetwear brand that was on the verge of going huge. He left. He didn't say he was leaving. He just left. And he didn't take his clothes, because in his mind, he was going to come back next week and grab them when things calmed down. Next week became next month. Next month became 3 months. And then one Saturday morning, his cousin called him and said, "Brother, you need to drive to Brooklyn right now, because your stuff is on the stoop." He drove over. There were 7 bags. 7, family. The cologne was in a separate Ziploc, taped to the top bag like a little crown. And the note. And this note was photographed and leaked to a blog I will not name, because the blog is still active and I do not need that smoke. The note said, in 6 words, "Don't ring the bell. Don't come back." That's it. 6 words. 7 bags. 1 Ziploc. And the marriage was officially, ceremonially, surgically over. And listen, you want to know what happened after? The video model dumped him within the year. His next project did under 30,000 first week. He never recovered creatively. He never recovered emotionally. He still tweets at his ex-wife on her birthday, and she has not responded since 2014. The Doorstep Doctrine, family, is not a punishment. The Doorstep Doctrine is a portal. Once you walk through it, you cannot walk back. From the outside looking in. Case file number 2. We are going to call this one the Atlanta situation, because Atlanta deserves its own chapter in every conversation about messy. 2017. The husband was a producer with 3 plaques on his wall and an instantly recognizable tag at the top of every song he touched. The wife was a real estate agent who had quietly tripled their net worth while he was in the booth. He met a reality TV personality who had just been cast on a major franchise. Now, I want y'all to pay close attention to this one, because this one ran the full influencer playbook. Public hard launch. The Aruba trip. The matching pajama photo on Christmas. The cover of a regional magazine where they were called, and I quote a blog headline I will not link, "Atlanta's New It Couple." Sound familiar? It should, because every man who runs this playbook eventually meets the doctrine. Every single one. He left his entire studio wardrobe in her walk-in closet. His suits, his chains, his grail-level shoes. And he told a friend, and the friend later told a podcast, which is how I know. He said, "She'll come around. She always comes around." She did not come around. 8 months later, his belongings arrived not at his condo, not at his studio, but at his mother's house. His mother's house, family. 9 bags, stacked on her front porch like a delivery. And the note, taped to the bag on the top of the pile, said, "Tell your son I'm done." His mother read that note out loud. His mother cried. His mother called him from the porch, in real time, crying, while standing next to 9 trash bags full of her son's life. He has still, to this day, not fully repaired that relationship with his mother. The reality TV personality? She was gone within 14 months. She has a new man now. She does not mention his name in interviews. The Doorstep Doctrine is poetic, family. It is poetic. Case file number 3. We are going to call this one the Houston chapter, because Houston is patient and Houston is petty and Houston knows how to wait. 2019. The husband was a professional athlete who I will say was top 3 at his position in his prime. The wife was a public school teacher who had been with him since he was on a partially guaranteed contract sleeping on her couch. Hear me out, because the timeline matters. The athlete met an influencer with around 800,000 Instagram followers and a swimwear line that was, allegedly, mostly drop-shipped. He moved out of the family home but, and this is the critical detail, he did not move out his belongings. The suits, the watches, the custom shoes, a sneaker collection that included, and I cannot stress this enough, A pair of unworn 1985 original Jordan 1 Chicagos in the original box with the original tissue paper. We are talking museum grade. We are talking generational wealth in shoebox form. Now the wife, who is a teacher, who is patient, who is the kind of woman who grades essays at midnight and prays before she eats, did not move in anger. She waited. She waited 14 months. She waited through the influencer's birthday post. She waited through the influencer's Dubai trip. She waited through the influencer's soft launch of a blended family Father's Day photo shoot. And then, on the exact day that the influencer posted a carousel captioned "My King" with a string of crown emojis, the wife loaded the husband's life into 11 trash bags, drove them to the front of his new condo building, and stacked them in the lobby like a museum exhibit. The note, written in red Sharpie because she was finally allowed to be a little dramatic, said, in 5 words, "My queen sends her regards." And the 1985 Chicagos? Allegedly never returned. The wife allegedly auctioned them on a sneakerhead forum that I will not name and used the proceeds to pay for their daughter's first semester at a private university. The Doorstep Doctrine, family, is not vengeance. The Doorstep Doctrine is the receipts. From the outside looking in. Before I get to the pattern, I have to walk you through one more file, because this 4th one is the one that closed the case for me. This is the one that made me realize the doctrine is not regional, it is not airbound, and it is not negotiable. Case file number 4. We are going to call this one the Miami chapter, because Miami is humid and Miami is messy and Miami refuses to let a man have peace. 2021. The husband was a hook singer with a streaming presence in the high 9 figures and a face that had been on 3 different magazine covers in the same calendar year. The wife was a chef who had quietly opened 2 of the most popular brunch spots in South Beach using the money she had been saving since before he had his first hit. They had a daughter. They had a Yorkie. They had a fingerprint-protected wine room. They had everything that the algorithm tells you is happiness. And then he met a fitness model with a back-end deal on a protein powder line who was, allegedly, dating 2 of his label mates at the same time. He left. He didn't take a single bag. Not a single bag, family. Because in his mind, leaving the bags was a way of telling himself this was not real. This was a phase. This was a Tuesday problem that was going to resolve itself by Friday. The wife waited. The wife waited 11 months. And during those 11 months, the wife did something I had never seen in any of my previous case files. The wife inventoried. The wife went into that closet with a clipboard and a label maker and a phone camera, and she logged every single item her husband had left behind. Brand, size, estimated retail, date of acquisition if she could remember. Because the wife was not just preparing the ceremony. The wife was preparing the receipts. And on the morning of the day that the fitness model posted a carousel from a yacht in Tulum captioned with 3 flame emojis and a heart, the wife loaded 14 bags into a black SUV she had rented for the occasion, drove them across the causeway to the husband's new condo, paid the doorman in cash to let her into the elevator vestibule, and stacked them in a perfect pyramid in front of his unit door. The note was not on a post-it. The note was on cardstock. It was a single sentence, printed in a font called Garamond, which I had to look up. The sentence read, "Itemized list attached. Sign and return at your leisure." And taped to the back of the cardstock was a 6-page itemized inventory of every item in every bag, with retail values, with serial numbers where applicable, with a signature line at the bottom. Family, listen to me. That is not a breakup. That is a closing of an estate. That is a quiet, surgical, dignified handover of property that is no longer being held in good faith. The hook singer, allegedly, broke down crying in the hallway. The fitness model, allegedly, dumped him within 4 months. And the chef, last I heard, has expanded to a 3rd restaurant. The doctrine, family, is undefeated. From the outside looking in. So what is the pattern? Because 4 is still arguably a coincidence, but I told y'all I have 17, and the pattern is identical in every single file. The man leaves. The man does not retrieve, because retrieving means admitting. The woman waits. The woman waits exactly as long as it takes for the man's new public-facing relationship to climb to its peak. And listen, the peak is always identifiable. The peak is the magazine cover. The peak is the matching pajama set. The peak is the blended family Father's Day carousel. The peak is the photo shoot. The peak is the moment where the new woman publicly captions the man as hers. And it is at that exact moment, not before, not after, on the very morning of, that the trash bags appear on the porch. The woman is not reacting. The woman is not coping. The woman is timing. The woman is conducting. She is the silent maestro of a ceremony the man does not even know he is being prepared for. And family, this is the part where we have to talk about Papoose. Because Papoose is not exempt. Papoose has never been exempt. Papoose, by every signal I am tracking on this channel, is currently sitting in the eye of the Doctrine, and he does not see it. 18 months. 18 months since the public separation. 18 months since the announcement. And in those 18 months, he has not requested his belongings. He has not sent a single mover to the family home. He has not made a public statement about retrieval. He has been operating, allegedly, under the assumption that the closet is still his closet, that the dresser is still his dresser, that the cream three-piece in the back of that walk-in is still, somehow, in some way his. And family, I'm going to be honest with y'all, with all the love and all the respect I can muster, he is reading the room wrong. Now let me explain the missed exits, because every man in my case files had multiple opportunities to retrieve his belongings before the Doctrine executed, and he ignored every single one of them. And the missed exits are, in retrospect, the most painful part of the timeline. Because if you go back and watch the interviews, if you go back and watch the lives, if you go back and watch the body language, you can literally see the moments where she was inviting him to come get his things. And you can see the exact second where he failed to take the hint. The first missed exit is usually the moment she changes the locks. Now in this case, the locks were changed, allegedly, about 6 months in. The husband was informed, allegedly, through a mutual friend. The husband did not respond. The husband, allegedly, just shrugged. That was missed exit number 1. The second missed exit is usually the moment she removes a photograph from a public space in the house and posts the empty wall on her social media. We saw that happen, family. We saw the empty wall. We saw the spot where the framed wedding portrait used to live. We saw it on a story that was up for less than 12 hours and then quietly deleted, which is the most dangerous kind of post a woman can ever make. That was missed exit number 2. The third missed exit, family, is the one that hurts. The third missed exit is the moment a public-facing daughter, an extremely composed and extremely image-aware young woman, posts a photograph of a Father's Day brunch that does not include the man who taught her how to ride a bike. We saw that too. We all saw that. And that, family, was missed exit number 3. He had 3 opportunities. He had 3 open windows. He had 3 flares fired directly over his head. And he, allegedly, chose to read all 3 of them as misunderstandings instead of memos. And that brings me to the larger point I want to make about him, because I have been studying his public posture for the better part of 2 years now, and I think I finally understand what is happening in his head. Because what Papoose doesn't understand, what he has never quite been able to grasp about the woman he married, is that Remy Ma is not in denial. She is not in heartbreak. She is not stuck. She is in the timing phase. And the timing phase, family, looks identical to acceptance from the outside. The timing phase looks like a woman who has moved on. The timing phase looks like a woman who is busy with her own projects, her own podcast, her own brand deals, her own family events. The timing phase is the most dangerous phase in the entire arc of the Doctrine, because the timing phase is when the man relaxes. The timing phase is when the man tells his friends, yeah, we cool, we co-parenting, it's fine, she's chill now. The timing phase is the calm before the porch. And family, anybody who has watched Remy Ma operate for the last 20 years knows that when she is timing something, you do not see it coming. You see it landing. You see it after. You see it when it is already done and the dust is already settling and the comment section is already on fire. She is a tactician. She has always been a tactician. She is the woman who, mid-verse, in the middle of a freestyle, can pivot on a single syllable and turn a punchline into a confession. She is the woman who can sit on a reunion couch for an entire 2-hour taping, say maybe 12 sentences, and walk away with the most clipped moment of the season. That is not luck. That is design. That is craft. That is the same craft she is currently applying to the closet. And Papoose, and I say this with the love of a woman who has watched a lot of grown men misread a lot of patient queens. Papoose is mistaking patience for permission. He is mistaking silence for affection. He is mistaking the closet for an open door. And family, the closet is not an open door. The closet is a holding cell. The closet is a staging area. The closet is the prologue. Let me tell you when this is going to hit. Because the doctrine has rules, and the rules are predictable. The doorstep moment hits at peak. Peak for Papoose, based on the signals I am tracking, is one of 3 windows. Window 1. The Father's Day photo shoot. Now I have argued elsewhere on this channel that the Pimentel family has, allegedly, shut that photo shoot down at the planning stage and that it is not happening this year. But if it were to happen, if the carousel were to drop with the matching outfits and the soft afternoon light and the caption talking about new beginnings and chosen family, then the morning after that carousel posts, the bags hit the porch. Mark it on your calendar. Window 2. The Mr. Mackey announcement. If Papoose lands a sizzle reel deal, a comedic acting pivot, a streaming series announcement, anything that constitutes a public narrative climax for him outside of the relationship, that is also a peak. That also triggers the doctrine. And window 3. And this is the dark horse window, family. The engagement rumor. If a blog drops a sourced piece, and I do mean sourced, with a People magazine level byline, saying that Papoose is engaged to a new woman, that is the trigger. That is the moment. Because the doctrine does not allow a man to publicly announce a new chapter while his old chapter is still folded in another woman's drawer. The doctrine simply does not permit it. And listen, the deadline is real. The doctrine is patient, but it is not infinite. In all 17 of my logged case files, the bags hit the porch within 24 months of the public separation. 24 months. That is the historical ceiling. Papoose and Remy Ma went public with the separation in the spring of 2024. The window, and I'm doing this math on the air, family, I'm doing this math live. The window closes in the spring of 2026. We are in the doctrine window right now. We are inside the prophecy as we speak. Now let me get surgical about what is actually in those bags, because this is the part of the conversation where I have to put on my forensic gloves. Based on the inventory we walked through in the closet deep dive. And if you have not seen that video, family, go watch it. I will link it. It is required reading for this episode. Papoose's wardrobe inside Remy Ma's brownstone includes the following items. The dress shoes from the BET Awards run. The chains from the Love and Hip Hop reunion era. The cologne, which is, allegedly, still on the dresser, still half full, still sitting next to a watch he hasn't touched in 2 years. Shirts, suits, belts, the leather jacket from the magazine spread. And this is the item I want y'all to focus on, because this is the item that turns the doctrine from logistics into legend, the cream 3-piece. The wedding suit. The 2008 wedding suit. The one in the framed photo that has been hanging on the family wall since the Obama administration. That suit, family, is not just a suit. That suit is a symbol. That suit is the visual identity of an entire era of a marriage. And when the doctrine executes, when those bags hit Papoose's porch, that cream 3-piece is going to be the item on top. I'm telling y'all right now, top of the top bag, folded so the jacket is facing out. Folded so that when Papoose unties the knot, the first thing his eyes land on is the lapel of the suit he wore the day he married Remy Ma. Because Remy Ma understands narrative the way Papoose understands rhyme schemes. Intuitively, generationally, with perfect timing. Remy Ma is not going to bury the wedding suit in the middle of bag 4. Remy Ma is going to put the wedding suit on top of bag 1. Because Remy Ma is conducting a ceremony, and ceremonies require theater, and theater requires the audience to see the most important prop first, from the outside looking in. And the note, family, the note. Let me speculate on the note, because every case file has a note, and the note is the signature of the doctrine. Now I have studied Remy Ma's public phrasing patterns with the dedication of a graduate student. I have logged her cadences. I have watched her on every podcast, every interview, every reunion couch, every shade room comment. And I can tell you with confidence that Remy Ma does not waste syllables. Remy Ma is economical. Remy Ma is surgical. The note, when it appears, will be 3 words or fewer. I am almost certain of this. So let me give you my top 3 predictions. Prediction 1. Best wishes. Classic. Restrained. The polite assassin. The 2-word ending that says nothing and says everything in the same breath. If Remy Ma writes best wishes on that post-it, it is the linguistic equivalent of a handshake at a funeral. It is closure dressed up as courtesy. And family, I would not be surprised. Prediction 2. Take care. This is the polite kiss of death. This is the note your grandmother writes when she is officially done with a friend but refuses to be ugly about it. Take care is the high road that secretly burns the bridge. Prediction 3. And this is my dark horse, for your records. Family, listen to me. For your records is the prediction I am leaning toward, and let me tell you why. For your records is the phrase a lawyer writes on a deposition exhibit. For your records is the phrase an accountant writes on a tax form. For your records is the phrase a woman writes when she is officially converting a personal closing ritual into an evidentiary act. For your records is what you write on the post-it when you are building a paper trail for a documentary you have not announced yet. And family, if you do not think Remy Ma is sitting on a documentary deal, you have not been paying attention to the last 12 months of her public posture. I am leaning for your records, but I will accept best wishes. I will not be mad at take care. And if it turns out to be something I have not predicted, if Remy Ma surprises me with a phrase I have not logged, I will give Remy Ma her flowers on this channel. Because Remy Ma is, and has always been, one of the most underrated narrative architects in the entire history of New York hip-hop. From the outside looking in. Now let me circle back to Papoose for a moment, because I want to be fair to Papoose. I am not in the business of dragging men for sport on this channel. I am in the business of reading patterns. And the pattern around Papoose is, frankly, sad. Papoose has spent the last 18 months operating, allegedly, as if the marriage is in some kind of suspended animation. As if Remy Ma is going to wake up one Tuesday and call him and say, "Come get your suits. Baby, let's talk." Papoose, I love you, but that call is not coming. That call has never come for any man in any of my 17 case files. Papoose, the call you are going to get is not from Remy Ma. The call you are going to get is from a cousin, or a barber, or a manager, who is going to say, "Brother, you need to drive to the Bronx right now. Your stuff is on the stoop." And family, let me tell you what I think happens after the bags. Because the bags are not the end of the story. The bags are the beginning of the next chapter. After the bags hit the porch, somebody is going to film them. Somebody always does. Somebody on the Pimentel side, or somebody with a phone and a perfect angle from across the street, or somebody with an exclusive deal already in place with a major tabloid. And the photo, when it drops, is going to do for Remy Ma what the Met Gala stairs did for Rihanna in 2014. It is going to become the photo. It is going to become the single image that defines the entire era of this separation. And once that photo lands on the internet, family, the doctrine is complete. The ceremony is done. The chapter is closed. And Papoose, with all the respect I have for him as a lyricist and a father, Papoose is going to have to live the rest of his career underneath that photo. Because that photo is going to follow him to every interview, every album rollout, every red carpet. That photo is going to be the first image that comes up when you Google his name for the next 10 years. Allegedly. Now before we get to the closing of this video, I have to talk about one more layer of the doctrine that I think gets missed in every conversation around it. And that layer is the daughter. Because in every single one of my 17 case files, the daughter is the silent variable. The daughter is the person who, more than anybody else in the entire ecosystem of the marriage, is paying the most attention to the timing. And in this particular case, family, the daughter in question is sharp. She is composed. She is, by all public accounts, the kind of young woman who understands narrative the way her mother understands narrative, which means she understands narrative the way Remy Ma understands narrative, which means she understands narrative very, very well. And I have been watching her social media, family. I have been watching her likes, her unlikes, her reposts, her quiet little story uploads at 3 in the morning. And I am telling you, the daughter is in lockstep with Remy Ma on this. The daughter is not confused. The daughter is not torn. The daughter is in the room when the bags get packed. The daughter is, allegedly, the one who has been gently asking Remy Ma when they are going to do something about the closet, because the closet, allegedly, is taking up real estate that the daughter has been eyeing for a vanity setup since she turned 16. And that, family, is the most quietly devastating detail of this entire situation. Because the closet that Papoose has been treating as his personal storage unit, the closet that Papoose has been imagining as some kind of suspended bridge back into the marriage, is in fact being eyed by his own daughter as future square footage for her vanity. The closet has already been mentally reassigned. The closet, in the architecture of the family home, has already been folded into the next chapter. And Remy Ma is, allegedly, just waiting for the right Tuesday to make the architecture official. Remy Ma is patient. Remy Ma is precise. And Remy Ma, family, has a daughter standing next to her with a tape measure. And listen, I want to be clear about something before we close this out. I am not rooting for the bags. I want y'all to hear me on this. I am not a person who celebrates the end of a marriage. I am not a person who claps when families fall apart. Marriages are hard. Public marriages are harder. And the marriage between Papoose and Remy Ma has, for the better part of 2 decades, been one of the longest-running, most quietly resilient unions in mainstream hip-hop. They built something. They built a brand. They built a family. They built a legacy. And the dissolution of that legacy is not a moment for celebration. The dissolution of that legacy is a moment for documentation. And documentation, family, is what we do on this channel. We do not celebrate. We do not gloat. We do not throw confetti. We log. We log the timeline. We log the pattern. We log the precedent. And when the doctrine executes, we are going to log that too. Calmly, surgically, with respect, from the outside looking in. So what do you do with this information, family? You watch the porch. You watch the doorbell footage. You watch the brownstone steps. You watch the Pimentel-adjacent Instagram accounts that suddenly start posting again after months of silence. You watch the photographers who have been quietly accepting retainer fees from a manager you've never heard of. You watch the timing. Because when the doctrine executes, and family, it is going to execute, I would bet this entire channel on it. Somebody is going to be filming. And the photo is going to drop. And the comment sections are going to explode. And the think pieces are going to start. And we, on this channel, are going to be the first ones to break it down in full forensic detail. Because that is what we do. We are not breaking news. We are breaking patterns. And the pattern, family, is the receipts. Drop me a comment, family. Drop me a comment and tell me what you think the note says. Are you on best wishes? Are you on take care? Are you on my dark horse pick for your records? Or have you been studying Remy Ma's patterns at home, in your living room, with your little notebook, and you think you have a phrase I haven't logged yet? Tell me what you think. I am going to pin the best guess. I am going to shout you out on the channel when the doctrine executes. And if you have lived through a doorstep moment yourself, anonymously, allegedly, names redacted, no identifying details, drop your story in the comments, because we honor the doctrine on this channel. We honor the women who execute it. We honor the timing. And we honor the patience that it takes to wait 14 months while a man parades his new chapter across the internet, before quietly, on a Tuesday morning, walking 3 trash bags down the steps and changing the entire conversation. If you are new to this channel, family, listen, tap that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you get the notification the morning the doctrine executes, because I am telling you, when it hits, you are going to want to be in the first wave of commenters. The pin is going to go to somebody who is already subscribed. Don't be the person watching this video in a re-upload on TikTok 3 days late. Be the person who was here on the night I called it. Like the video. Share the video. Send it to the friend who refuses to believe in patterns. Send it to the cousin who keeps defending Papoose. Send it to the auntie who has been quietly packing her own trash bags in her own walk-in closet, allegedly, for months. We are a family on this channel, and the family looks out for the family. And one last thing, family, before I let y'all go, because I know somebody in the comments is going to come at me with this, so I want to address it head on. Somebody is going to say, Tisa, you are being unfair to Papoose. Papoose has done a lot for that family. Papoose has been a present father. Papoose has been a stand-up partner through real, hard, public seasons. And to that person, I want to say, you are right. You are absolutely right. I am not denying any of that. The historical record on Papoose, the long view on Papoose, includes loyalty, includes presence, includes a level of public devotion that very few men in this industry have ever matched. I am not erasing that. I am not unaware of that. But family, listen to me. The doctrine does not care about your historical record. The doctrine does not weigh your loyalty against your last 12 months. The doctrine is binary. Did the man retrieve his belongings? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, the doctrine executes. It does not matter how many magazine covers you posed for together. It does not matter how many Father's Days you showed up for. It does not matter how many freestyles you cut for her on the Dedication mixtape series. The Doctrine is, by design, indifferent to your previous credits. The Doctrine only looks at the closet, and the closet, family, has the cream three-piece still hanging in it. So the Doctrine is going to execute. With love, with respect, with all the credit due. But it is going to execute. And we are going to be here when it does. The Doctrine is patient. The Doctrine is precise. The Doctrine is undefeated. And Papoose, baby, with all the love in my heart and all the respect in my soul. Papoose, your 18 months are almost up. Watch the porch, family. Watch the porch. Watch the porch. Watch the porch. I will see you on the next one. Tea responsibly. Bye.